Hi everyone, I'm Bowen Kevitz, knit and crochet designer for one-of-a-kind makers who dare to be original. And it is Saturday before Christmas. I'm so excited to be here. And my gosh, the life of a procrastinator. I should say recovering procrastinator, but I feel like my procrastination has reached an all-time high. I'm just gonna open with prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for another amazing week. I'm excited for doing this live. Hopefully some women join me today. And if not, I know they're busy spending time with their family, getting ready for Christmas and getting ready for celebrating the birth of baby Jesus. And I'm so I love this time of year, and I'm so grateful that you came into this world for us. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Hey, Kathy. I'm so glad you joined. I considered, I'm like, should I take this week off and maybe next week off? Because I have so much to do for Christmas. Are you all ready, Kathy? Are you all ready for, for Wednesday? But, we're more of Tuesday evening. So everything's happening on Tuesday evening for me. And then Wednesday, John and I chill. So because all of our events are like Christmas Eve. So I have so much to do, and I haven't started the Milo doll yet. It's today. I'm doing it today. I know, Kathy. My procrastination is in full force. Now I'm wrapping this one. That's awesome. I'm starting the doll today. Okay, so I have craziness happening this week. So every year, for the past, I'd say 5 years, maybe 3, I'm not sure, but my model and I get together and we bake Christmas cookies. She came to my house and I started teaching her how to bake chocolate chip, and we've done all kinds of cookies that we've learned and we've done together. And I love it when she's there because, another helping hand. So we've been baking cookies every single year for Christmas. And then she'll take it, like we bake huge batches. So she brings it to her family and then I bring it to my family and so forth, right? So we just do one big baking session. So that's happening on Monday. That's happening on Monday evening. So that's going to be like Christmas cookie baking time. And this time we've done so many different, Ellie just chimed in. She says she won't be joining us because she's doing Christmas stuff with her family. I am about to make my gifts for 10 grandkids next year. For next year. And my daughter does a clean ingredient cookie exchange. Oh, really? Wow. Hey, Sarah, so glad you can join. I've been sending Sarah prayers all week long because, her hubby is just got out of recovery, out of surgery and everything. So Sarah's been getting all my prayers this whole week. Clean ingredient cookie exchange. All right, so yeah, the hubs and I had a little mini spat yesterday because because he's big on clean eating, and I finally this year for the first time acquired Aunt Sophie's kolachki recipe that she's been making since John was born. So probably before that, but every year since John's been born, every Christmas he gets this kolachki thing with a prune inside. Him and his dad gets prune. The rest of the family gets walnuts and coconut filling. If you don't know what a kolachki is, it's like arugula. but I don't know if it's the Polish term for it. So it's just sugar dough and then wrapped up, and then with inside there's either prune, which is a Jewish jam, like a prune butter that took forever to find, this jar that was just like in this weird health food section at Wegmans, and it was like, and so I'm doing that for the first time this year, and I'm actually going to make the dough tonight. It's with yeast. We looked for two grocery stores to find yeast, and we had no idea. They always said there was in the dairy aisle. I'm like, I've never done yeast before, and I'm freaking out. Like, you what? And the directions, it's like she got it from like a church cookbook. Let me go get it for you. It's crazy what this. I don't even know. I should check the copyright of this cookbook, but it was like a church cookbook that they put like the members' recipes in there. So there's meals, and and, then, and then there's the recipe right here, and it says uh, a pound of oleo. I'm like, oh, we had to Google what oleo was, and then a pound of lard, which a couple of weeks ago we figured out where lard was. It was right next to the butter, and and then a small fresh yeast. Dissolve in a quarter cup of warm water. What is that? Like, what does that mean? I'm terrified. I've been baking for 15 years since I got married. I learned how to bake, and I baked John's grandma's apple crumb recipe, which I kill it now because I know it like the back of my hand. But I've never done yeast before. This is my first year with yeast, and therefore we couldn't find yeast anywhere until we had asked the store person for help. And then they showed us this little square thing in like a container. I was like, no wonder why we were never gonna find it. Because even in the picture on Google, it looked like a big butter box. But it's this tiny little thing. Make sure the water isn't too hot. It kills the yeast. See, it's talk like this that freak me out. Sugar dough, not clean ingredients, but sounds delicious. Yes. It's a Hungarian. Oh, okay. Well, that makes me want to make Kieflers. I don't know if it's spelled. Yummy Hungarian cookies. You'll do fine. So, so do I just put it in? So so I take this square yeast thingy and just put it in a quarter cup of warm water. And then does it just dissolve like what? Nobody says anything about the timing. Like, is it 10 minutes, 5 minutes? Is it 2 seconds? Like, how long is this thing taking? Good morning, Tammy. So glad you can join. Um, so how long does it take to, like, it doesn't say. All it says is the next thing you see is mix all ingredients together well. If the dough is sticky, add flour until it doesn't stick to your hand. And then wrap the dough in a dish towel and refrigerate overnight. What happened to the bowl? What happened to the bowl that I was mixing in? Am I pulling it out of the, am I dumping the dough and putting in a towel and then like no longer having a bowl? Like, this is really confusing me. These need better directions, man. Oh, stir it and it will dissolve quickly. Okay, good. Thank you, Kathy. That makes me feel a little bit better. So then I just put it in with the flour and then the 2 cups of cold milk, and it's 12 cups of flour. Sifted. So there goes my hands. Like, you know how hard that thing is? Like, I'm gonna have to change it to my left hand, and golly, no wonder why I put this off forever. So the reason why I'm finally doing it this year is because Aunt Sophie hasn't been able to do it in a couple of years. Now she's been very like, felt like she's been very secretive because I've been wanting to learn for years, but she's like, no, no, no. She was taking care of it. She was taking care of it. And then the past couple of years, she hasn't. Like, one year she was sick, so she didn't make it. So that Christmas didn't have it. Then another year, she's like, no, it was too much work, and she wasn't feeling well. And then this year, I think this is the third year that they're going to go without it, that she's like, I can't. And then so she gave me the book. She gave me this Bible book. And so I think she gave it to me at the end of last year when she realized like I couldn't make it, so let me see. And then for sure this year she just couldn't make it. So now I'm attempting it. And so they've been several years without this recipe, this treat. And the nut filling is 2 pounds of walnut meats ground. Oh, so I have to ground that. I have to chop that up. And then 2 cups of sugar. Um, when I start to do this later on, and then 6 tablespoons, the sugar. So it's walnuts for the filling, the walnuts, sugar, a cup and 3/4 of milk, and then shredded coconut, and then a tablespoon of butter. And then heat all this up, and this makes that the paste for the nut filling. We vote for a video, so I would love to watch you do that. Wait, what am I missing? This sounds like an awesome YouTube tutorial. No, it does not. I wish there was an awesome YouTube tutorial because then I wouldn't be sitting here trying to figure it out with you guys. We vote for a video. Maybe next year for you for attempting it. This is a big undertaking. Yes. Thank you. It is huge. It's why I've been putting it. I've never dealt with yeast. I mean, all right, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this dough again. When you're, am I mixing this by hand or am I using a hand mixer? Because I don't want it to be stiff. Like my fear is that this dough is too stiff. Because what's going to happen is it says wrap dough in a dish towel. Does that mean is the dough in the bowl and I put a dish towel over it? Or am I dumping the dough into a dish towel, wrapping it, and then putting in a bowl and then putting it in the fridge? There's a bowl involved, right? I don't know why I'm hung up on this, but I need more details. Let's see. Send you what the Keeflies look like. They sound similar. They probably are. So that's a Hungarian. Keeflies are Hungarian, and I think Kolachkis is a Polish thing. Oh, by hand. So I'm mixing it by hand. 12 cups of flour, mixing it by hand. Whew. This should be fun. Oh, am I kneading it like a bread? It didn't say knead. It just says mix well. Blend it well. Oh my gosh, you guys. I wish you guys were here with me. All right, so after this, it's gonna wrap dough in a dish towel and then refrigerate overnight. I wonder if they say wrap dough in a dish towel is so that the towel can. Yes, I have a linen towel. Do not use terry. No, I have a linen towel. I got it free from Grove.com. I get a specific shampoo, like a tea tree oil shampoo it's the only thing that works for my scalp that I absolutely love. And I can only get it from this website. And I'm a membership for a year, and then it's $20 for the year, but they give me 4 free items throughout the year. And one of them is a kitchen towel, like for this very specific reason. And I've had it and I've never opened it. I haven't used it because I was like, this is for a special occasion. So I was like, that's going to be the dough towel that I'm going to be using. So I'm excited to finally use this linen towel for it. So is it wrapping the dough overnight? Is that to keep it so that the moisture, like to absorb the moisture throughout the night? Is that why I would think that where you were wrapping the dough will form a ball? Okay. And my mom answers. Oh. Really? Okay, hold on. Try searching for a video for the recipe. You can find anything on YouTube. I found you. I found you when you did your when you Ravelry rant. I know, how crazy is that? My Ravelry rant. And and in truth, it actually was not a rant, but it actually did turn out to be a rant. It was just more of a PSA for. I just wanted to make a public stand because I felt really responsible. Like it was like one of those leadership moments where you're like, okay, I can hide or I can really stand up for myself and for other women who at the time I didn't know were existed. I thought I was the only one going, this doesn't make sense to me, people. And that was the only reason why I did it, but it's crazy. But look at what happened afterwards. That was insane. I just trusted God and he did the rest. But he brought Kathy to me, so yay! That was a wrong celebration. That wasn't like a yay. It was more like yay. So I'm so what wait, so I want to go back to this dough. So now the dough, the next day, I've never let dough sit, you know. Uh and then so I'm gonna pull it out tomorrow. So I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna do this tonight, and then I'm gonna let it, so it's gonna refrigerate overnight, and then in the morning I'm gonna wake up. You know, I'm gonna turn on some Christmas music, and I'm gonna get myself all jazzed up. Good worship music coming my way tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to roll out the dough in sugar. And it doesn't say how much sugar either. They just says roll out dough on sugar and cut into squares. Then fill the nut filling. That's all it says. Like you gotta be kidding me. But I like your idea, Kathy. I'm gonna look this up. There's got to be a YouTube video on this kolachki, and it's probably spelled different ways because even in this book, it's spelled Kolachki, and then another one right in the next page is these are by different women. She spells it Kolachi, so she spells it kolachi, and this one spelled it kolachki. And then another one calls it kalaki, and they're like all the same thing. They're literally all the same thing. I will say some prayers, oh Lord. Yes. 6 cups of flour is gonna get rolled down and then cut into squares, and then I have to put the prune in some of them and the nut in some of them. And John is like so excited because he's like, oh, you get to control the prune. So he's like, he wants me to slather it off. And I'm like, what if it oozes out? Like there's only so much prune you can put in. It's not like it cracks me up. So this is gonna be an interesting time tomorrow. And it bakes. So these are like little, they're not that big. They're like rugula. So I would say about this big, you know, the size of a, like, this is a right, oh, that's a Minnie Mouse. Here's a tape dispenser. It's definitely smaller than that. It's like 2 of them, 2, like, size wise. And it bakes for 25 minutes at 350. Like, that's a long time to be sitting in that little thing. So I don't know how much it's going to make. I don't know how much I'm doing. I'm just praying to God that the dough is not like hard as a rock or like, I'm terrified of that. When they make bread, how often does that happen? Because I feel like I watched Julia Childs do a bread one time. And did she take it out and then knead it and then put it, it's in a bowl, but they just covered the linen cloth. They covered it. Why did this specifically say wrap dough? This is really bothering me. This is how I am when it comes to the English language. Another recipe said cover in a damp cloth. This one did not say damp cloth. Kathy, do I want my cloth damped? Do you have a photo of what it looks like? It looks like arugula. Have you ever had arugula? It's just pastry and then some filling inside. I don't have a photo. When we get it every year, and this was like 4 years ago now, we haven't had it for the past 3 years. We eat it that morning. I get the nut, walnut, and coconut. John and his dad get the prune, and Uncle Bob and his mom and I and Aunt Sophie get the walnut. And that's all I know. And then we eat it that morning, and then nobody's allowed to touch anybody else's tin because it's like gold. So if I learn this power, guys, I will be invincible. But if I don't, it might be my destruction and downfall. So we'll see. We'll see. So what else? Are you guys doing anything exciting? Any challenges? So I between the Milo doll and these cookies tomorrow, I'm hoping I get all that done before my model comes on Monday, and then we bake regular cookies, which I look forward to because that's easy. It's just chocolate chip, and she's doing white chocolate macadamia nut. And then we eliminated the ricotta cheese one. We eliminated the Reese's peanut butter cups. We eliminated Reese's peanut butter cups is awesome if you guys ever do it because it's like a winner. But we're not making it this year. It's just like full stick of like 4 sticks of butter and all this sugar and then like very little flour, like 1 cup of flour. So it's like basically it's a butter floured recipe. Like it's heavy on the butter. And you mix it all up and you make these little balls and you put it in the tiny little muffin tins, those tiny little muffin tins, right? You put that ball in there, and then because it's all like more butter and less flour and sugar, it kind of sinks and fills in, right? So the ball like fills into the little mini cups baking dish, and then when you pull it out as it's warm, you take a Reese's peanut butter cup, you stick it in there, and oh my god, it's like my favorite. I don't even know why we're not making it this year. Now that I'm thinking, oh, that's why, because I'm in a wedding in April. And mind you, this month of the no process food, like it was tough. It was tough. It was really, really tough because in the office, cookies and everything were coming from all directions, candies and cookies from our customers. They send it, and like there was just it's everywhere. And it was so hard to say no. It was so hard to say no. And I had some like really come to Jesus moments sometimes on it, and it was tough. It was really tough. And there was one day that I gave him because she came and brought in homemade cheesecake, which I'm not gonna say no to homemade cheesecake. But when you think about it, isn't homemade cheesecake like all the ingredients is all the good ingredients is anyways, it's not from a box. Her husband or her boyfriend makes cheesecakes for a living. So he made homemade cheesecake. And so I had that and it was delicious. So the one thing I learned, I was telling Julia, I was like, the one thing I've learned in these last 3 months of me, like, pursuing greatness with the last 90-day challenge and doing all this was my big takeaway from all this is I'm never saying yes to another wedding again. And Julia is like, what? She's like, I thought you were going to say something profound. I'm like, listen to me. This is profound. Is it anybody else that asked me to be in the wedding? I'm going to say, I love you. But the answer is no, and go find somebody else. Because it is hard. Hard. I haven't been afraid to be in pictures in forever. So yeah, but at the same time, I joke. I really do care. Getting healthier is my number one goal, and it's been something I've been wanting to do forever. And it's one of those things where I just keep saying I want to get healthy, and every New Year's resolution I want to get healthy, and then 2018 was my worst health year ever. So it's high time that I start taking those goals seriously. And I just use the wedding as the excuse to fuel me. These are different than bread. I would use a damp cloth. Oh, okay. Does it say powdered sugar or granulated sugar to roll it out on? It's granulated sugar, but it doesn't say it. It is sugar because Aunt Sophie told me it was sugar. So it's granulated sugar, and I could see it. She said that's why you have to be careful when you're baking it because the sugar melts and it makes everything sticky. So as soon as it comes off, you got to quickly take it off, remove it. But where do you remove it to? Even if you take it out of the pan, you remove it, you could, I guess a cooling rack, right? Yeah, because then the cooling, because the pan will keep it sticky and then you can't lift it up. So cooling rack wouldn't help it. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm gonna need some serious prayers. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about how much sugar, so I'm just gonna lay it out. She said you can use some flour too, so a little bit of flour and a little bit of sugar. This is actually why I asked to do this with her, but she's 90 years old, you guys. So if you're wondering what age group I'm talking to here, she's 90 years old, and she's amazing because you never even knew she was even 60 until like about 4 years ago when she stopped making these. That you're like, oh wow, Aunt Sophie's getting up there. And up until then, she's just been like trucking along like she's in her 60s. Like you never knew, you know. I've been saying that for every year too. 2020 will be a new decade. Yes, Kathy, for sure. 2020. I'm like so excited. I've never been this excited about a new year in my life. Like I've never been this excited about a new year. And I've been excited about New Year's. Because I love New Year's because it's a clean slate, right? And for procrastinators like me, I love a new year because I'm always like, okay, this is the year I'm changing. This is the year I'm changing. All my bad habits, this is the year I'm changing. But this year I worked really, really hard on zoning in on my bad habits. And I got a lot of bad habits. I've got a lot of bad habits. And zoning in on them, trying to fix them, trying to change them. I've read 20 books on helping me change them. And I've even recommended a whole bunch of habits books as I've read them with you guys on it. I think in the past 3 months, I've read four habit books that finally got helped me get rid of my phone game addiction, which I wanted to tell you, 2 weeks now, I'm phone game free, and every single day I've had 7 or 8 hours sleep every night. If you've asked me what's the one big change, I went from 5 to 6 hours for this past year to in the past 2 weeks, every single day has been 7 or 8 hours sleep every night. Naturally, not on, just naturally, not trying, not crazy, crazy. And I always knew that this game was keeping me up. This game was keeping me up. This game was keeping me up. And I was not getting sleep. I always knew that phone addiction was keeping me up. And to get rid of that and to now have 70 hours sleep, it's just insane. It's insane. I have an aunt that made all of these cookies. She's 91 now and has dementia now. Oh, so sad. I know, it breaks my heart. That's actually, so I called Aunt Sophie yesterday. I wanted to tell her that I was going to get the ingredients and how about I bring it over to her and then I make it with her. But I make it. She just sits there and tells me everything. But she wasn't even up to that because she was like, I'm not feeling well, and just to probably be on and have the oven going and me being there, like I just think she's like it was too exhausting for her. So she's like, you're on your own. Basically. And so here I am with you gals. Isn't it freeing to get rid of these chains? Yes, it's so freeing. Oh my god. Oh, that's right, Sarah. Right? Sarah, so Sarah messaged me. What was it? Tuesday, Sarah? When is your day? Because my day is Saturday. I will remember it forever. It was Saturday 2 weeks ago. It was when I made the change. When did you make it? Was it Tuesday? No, Tuesday was your husband's operation. So was it Wednesday, Sarah? Wednesday morning that you messaged me and says, Sarah, I'm hooked. My that Kathy, that was my vice. Township was my last one. So this is the game. Kathy, you're next. You're next with us. You're next with us because I was honestly shocked that Sarah messaged me that Wednesday morning and says I did it, Devon. I did it, and she's like, and now Look, I want to touch my laptop because I want to scroll because it's scrolling past. Good morning, Nancy. So glad you can join us. Um, and yeah, the phone is ridiculously boring now. Half the time, I don't even know where this phone is. Where before, like John had to pry it off of me. In fact, anytime he got mad at me, he would hide my phone, and that's how he would get my attention. Be like, oh, he's mad. You know what I mean? So I've neglected something, But now I don't even know where the phone is half the time because it is so boring. Team beat the phone addiction. Oh my god. I love that. I love that, Sarah. That's the crusade. Our our next member that will be joining us is Kathy. Let me tell you, the other side is amazing. And it was Township. It was funny how Sarah and I had no idea that we were both playing Townships together and we're both addicted. Well, she didn't even know that I was even into phone games at all. And I said, I'm a high functioning addict. Nobody knew about my addiction. I hid it very, very well. I hid it very, very well. But don't be mistaken. It was the strongest addiction possible. Strongest addiction possible. Like I was never going to be the person that I wanted to be for 2020 when I write this book if I didn't get rid of this game. The book will never happen. And now that this game does not exist, like I have a real chance of finishing this book and it being amazing and it doing exactly what the Lord has called me to do with it. And that feels really, really good. The only game I have is Words with Friends. Maybe you should remove it too. Games are time consuming. Yes. I don't have any games. I considered even like this is the funny thing. So here I'm on week 2 of this, right? So last week it was really depressing. I was really depressed. I was like really sad that I wish I didn't have an addictive personality. I wish I could be one of those people that could just play for leisure, just to release and relax my brain a little bit. Because I don't want to be on all the time. I want to have something fun that I enjoy. Like I wish I was one of those people that could just do that. And it made me really sad that I wasn't. I'm like, and I know I'm not. I have an addictive personality. I know when I do something, I go all in and I go all out. And I wish I could pace. I wish I didn't care as much. I wish it didn't control me, but it does. It does. Just like that's why I like food. Like food is an addiction because I eat to live, not live to eat. No, yeah, I eat to live, not eat. Wait, no, I wish I ate to live, but I live to eat. That's the personality that I was. Stop, Indy. What are you doing? When I'm getting excited and he's getting excited. Oh, nice. I want to make sure I got every comment here. Games are ridiculously time consuming. That's the one thing I have a lot of time. So this past week, I've listened to 3 writing webinars that I'm like really excited about. I got 2 books that I'm in the middle of reading right now, physical books, and I have 1 audiobook that I'm listening to. So yeah, I got First Things First by Stephen R. Covey. He's the one that did 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Amazing book. So I'm reading that. First Things First. That's one of the habits. I considered getting Sudoku, but then I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna let it go. I was like, I'm not even gonna bother. Nothing. I won't start anything. I'm not responsible enough to have games on my phone. Social media is hard enough to stay off of. I hear. I totally hear you. JBC. I don't know. I don't know if your name, but I totally hear you. I before before I had the phone game addiction, that was 2 years ago, and I got rid of it years ago. The only reason why I got rid of Candy Crush was because I started listening to podcasts to better myself, and I got this idea about, there are women that are pursuing their dreams and goals while they have jobs and families and husbands and children, and they're still pursuing a side hustle of doing something that they love and they create and everything. And I was like, this world exists. And so when I started realizing that potential, I knew that the one thing I had to do was get rid of Candy Crush. And so I did. and I was in the tens of thousands levels. Like I was hardcore. I could have been in a Guinness record of Candy Crush, and I did that in like a matter of a year because that's how addicted I was. And then when I got rid of that game, I stopped playing phone games. And then so I channeled my habit, my addiction into improving myself and listening to podcasts and audiobooks and all that stuff. And got then I thought about Vonets, and that's when I created my Etsy shop and Dare to Be Original, and then I became addicted to that. Like, and then I have this online community that I love with makers, and that's where my addiction like took over. And I was like, okay, good. And I was like, and I always credit it. I would have never had all this online stuff, this this creative world, this creative outlet, this Etsy shop, this community, if I didn't get rid of Candy Crush, right? And then somehow 2 years ago, my model like innocently like told me, she's like, I'm addicted to this game called Heyday, and it's a farm. And I was like, no, I can't do it, because my sister, she was like doing farms. So I was like, no, I can't get into it. But then I was like, oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can dabble. I need something because I'm too stressed out. I was like, I'm too stressed out with this business and this work and me being sick. I'm like, maybe I need something on the side to help me relax a little bit. Well, then that Heyday turned into not being hardcore enough. And then I discovered Township. And my friend got rid of her game because she knew she was getting addicted, and she just stopped. Because some people can do that. Their addictions aren't strong. They don't have addictive personalities. They know what's bad for them and they stop. This one kept going and I kept going, and 2 years later, Township was my drug of choice. And before you know it, 4 hours goes by, and then I win another game, and I'm like, 4 hours, another 4 hours goes by, and then I'm functioning on 5-6 hours of sleep every night. I'm up in the morning and I'm supposed to be pursuing my dream, but instead I'm fixing my farm and taking care of, and my team was Jesus. So I thought I was helping a Christian community, doing my Christian duty by playing this game. Yeah, that's how fun we addicts get. I try to eat to live, but I also live for sweets. One habit I'm going to fully break in 2020 is a sugar addiction. Holy, yeah, Sarah, that's a mother one. Sugar addiction is, I'm working on that. That's my now that we got rid of the phone, sugar is the next beast. And that's going to be a lifetime beast, but people do it all the time. So I'm sure we're on our way. I mean, obviously after Kalachki, I will be one of those people. Like, let me tell you, I will be one of those people that can acquire these baking skills, but I won't have to eat it. I will just taste it, one, and I will move on. I will be one of those people. Kathy, wait, did it just happen? You guys, Kathy, my heart is pounding for you. You ladies are my kindred spirit. Thank you for holding me accountable. How else can we move forward to be better if we aren't honest with ourselves? Amen. Kathy, I I wish I had one of those horns, those horns that like that. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you, Kathy. I promise you, it will change your life. I promise you. And that's exactly it. Kathy, 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you saw when I made that announcement and told you, or was it last week? I think you were on it with me when I was telling you why I even gave it up. Was because my friend got in trouble and she was caught with her addiction, like drinking alcohol, and she was like very embarrassed and with her work, and it just brought like her addiction to life. It was like a big flashing silent, and I felt so bad for her, like so bad that like I always knew that she had a problem, but I felt so bad that her problem got like outed that way. And um and and I didn't know how to help her. And so the only thing I knew was that I too have a secret. I too had something that was holding me back, that was controlling me, that was, you know what I mean, that I couldn't, that was shackling me, that I couldn't fix. I would be at work and all I thought about was this game. I would be at the grocery store and I was embarrassed to let my model know that I was still playing the game because she was a better person than me because she got rid of it. And I was embarrassed to let her know that I found an even crazier addictive game that I'm even more addicted to. That, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't, I was so embarrassed to let her know that. So I would sneak and play like on the side. And like those are the things that I'm like, it's crazy how and then at work it would be in my break, so I would have this food and I'm having soup and I have only 15 minutes to eat on my break, and meanwhile one hand is trying to eat as fast as I can, but the other hand is trying to get as much game time as I could. And I was just like, this has got to, like, I didn't even know who was coming in the cafeteria. Like, all I wanted to do was get into this. Like, that's crazy addiction. You know what I mean? And as soon as I would get home, I would make dinner, and I would even stall on making dinner because the game was always on when I was making dinner. And then I would like take like 3 hours to wash dishes because I was playing for 2 hours standing there on top of the counter. And then my husband would come down and I'd be like, oh, I'm working on the dishes. And he's like, what the frick, for 3 hours? Like things like that over and over again for 2 years. Like, that's addiction. And that was holding me back. So I was like, so I'm like sitting there with my friend. I was like, I can't say anything to my friend, not in the state that I'm in, not with my addiction. So I was like, how can I ask? So when John asked me, why did you make the announcement? I was like, because how can I ask my friend to give up alcohol? Because it would be better for her and her family and her children, right? Her life. How could I ask her to do that as an easy out? Because the solution is easy to stop, right? How could I ask her to give that up if I can't say no to what I was addicted to what was holding me back? You know what I mean? And it is like a drug. And I'm not comparing. Somebody said this last week, like drug and alcohol is a serious, and smoking, it's a serious. Those are three addictions that are slightly different than this addiction that we are going under, but it doesn't make it less addictive. The addiction of our phones is a dopamine hit. The addiction of our social media games and everything, it's a dopamine hit. We're bored, so we want to change our state. That's the thing about addiction, is your habit is that you want to change your state. People smoke, people drink, people do drugs because they want to change the current state that they're in. So they go into the habit that they're addicted to, which is those vices, which is, for us, it's this, right? So the only way we escape and change our state is this. So when we get bored, when we get silent, when it's quiet at the grocery line, the first thing you do is pull up your phone and say, let's see what quickly I can make in my town, and how can I update my game real quick. That's what it is. But those things are drugs on top of it. So for us, it's just dopamine hits. For them, it's a whole other chemical. You know what I mean? So that makes it slightly harder. That makes it more complex. That makes it like a lot more difficult. But nevertheless, it's still an addiction, and it's still a chain, and it still controls you. And that's the point of, oh, whoa, wait, hey, come on, let's go outside. Come on. Oh, sorry, wait. It's just, I think the big guy was dry heaving. So he's like starting to throw up or something. I just heard it. I'm actually surprised that I caught that. I wonder why they were crying to go out. So that, as I say, to come back, I lost my train of thought because I got Liberty. I think I got him in time. I don't think he threw up, so that was good. Puppy. Dog life. See, I don't have any children, but seriously, I do have children. My children just don't speak English. That's where my children are. But to get rid of that, like, it is. So that's the only I said to him. I said to John, I was like, if I can't get rid of this, I can't ask my friend to do that. So until I do this, and I only want to show my friend out of example, so that whenever I am ready to address her, because I'm hoping that warning sign was just enough to warn her, because it certainly warned me. It certainly woke me up, you know. And I also knew, I'm like, one of my goals is to be a great leader, like to be an exceptional leader. Just like one of my goals is to be an exceptional wife. I choose the word exceptional very strategically, very intentionally. So every single day I write, I am an exceptional wife. I'm reminding myself that this is the quality of a partner that I want to be. And one of the other goals I have is I am an exceptional leader. And that is for anybody that I meet, anybody that I contact with, I want to represent Jesus in the best way that I can. And pursuing my best version was never going to happen if I was still playing Township, if I was still addicted to Township. And now without it, my only backlash is I get 7-8 hours sleep every night, which is amazing. I'm so proud, Kathy. Sarah, I'm so proud of you. When you sent me that message on Wednesday, I'm so proud of you, because your husband is going through something, and your daughter is like, and it's something like, see, these are the things. It's not something like anybody could say to me. This wasn't something like my friend could even tell me to say, those games aren't going to help you. You want to be this great person, and you want to write a book, and you have all these big dreams, but you're never going to happen if you, like, look at how long it took me to, it's taking me to put out 2 patterns that I wrote in July and August. And here I am in December, and I still never finished because I kept putting it off. Because I was wasting my time on other things. I could say a billion reasons, but that's what it comes down to. It wasn't my priority. And I guarantee you, if I actually logged in the number of times of my Township game, I could have done 30,000 patterns by now from August. It's crazy. I'm so proud of all of us. I'm so proud. I would say that they first created a mobile phone, and then they just wanted the convenience to stay in touch on the road, and then turn into mobile computers with phone capabilities. Yeah. Oh, Merry Christmas, Sarah. She's dropped. So true. That's absolutely true. And the thing about social media and this phone, like, that's all social media and these phone games, they pay people thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to figure out how can we keep our product addictive? How do we keep people engaged to Instagram? How do we keep people engaged with Facebook? So they stay in Facebook, so they stay in Instagram, so they stay on Twitter, so they stay on their game, so they keep addicting, so they stay addicted to the phones. Like, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars doing research on how to keep it addictive. So it's not like a surprise that we are addicted to it. You know what I mean? But the great reminder is the fact that we are in control of it. So step 1 is to acknowledge it. Step 2 is take care of it, and then step 3 is to talk about it. But it was one of those easy things where once I did it, I was just like, it felt so freeing. How do you feel, Kathy? Are you still on? How does it feel? Like, don't you just feel free? And I'm not going to say you won't be sad. I'm not going to say you won't be bored, but there's other beautiful things that you can do. Because like I said, what do you got? 10? You got 10 items you got to be making for your grandkids next year. Start now. As soon as you like get the craving to play, grab one of those projects and start. And then come next year, we won't be procrastinators anymore. Oh, I gotta watch. Okay, so we're close to 10. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me. This was a great meeting. I'm so glad you guys joined. Thank you for helping me with this Kolachki. Wish me luck. Pray for me. I will let you know next Saturday how it goes, and I might save, if I can save a couple to show you. You can't share it with me, but maybe I'll eat one in front of you if it lasts. I honestly don't think it'll last. I think John's gonna consume it all. He gets into You think of the Cookie Monster, that's how he is with these kolaches. So, oh, you do feel free. Oh, I'm so happy for you. And yeah, it is absolutely free. It's I can't wait to hear. So next week, come back and check in with us and let's see how you are. I'll be on week 3, you'll be on week 1, and Sarah will be right with you because Sarah just did it on Wednesday. So she's not a full week yet. So I'm so glad we're one phone addiction at a time. Can't wait to hear. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for helping me. I feel a little bit better. So the yeast will dissolve instantly, and then I just put it in with the mix, and I'm blending it by hand, and I'm gonna roll it out and take my good old time, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm hoping this dough business works out. Yeast. 15 years, I'm finally touching yeast. Good times. All right. Well, have a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Yes, contact me. Even if you don't, if you're on Instagram or Facebook Messenger, DM me, send me. You know what I mean. If you need a fix of good inspiration for the decision that you made, the awesome, empowering decision that you made, I guarantee you've this is awesome. And yeah, I now get 7-8 hours sleep easily. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for encouraging me. You know, may you be blessed this Christmas season. You too, Kathy. You too. And everybody watching this. You guys have a Merry Christmas. And I will see you next week on Saturday. God bless. One more session, and then we say goodbye. So next Saturday, we say goodbye to 2019. We say goodbye to all this stuff. And I say we go hard on saying, leaving all the baggage, all the negative stuff behind us, because this, Kathy, now without this chain on us, we can head into 2020 so freeing and so light that we can go so far and so fast in this next 10 years. Like, it's just going to be, we will be unrecognizable. But in the eyes of God, he will know that we've reached or are reaching our potential that he created us to be. And that's the goal. That's the quest, and that's the goal. All right. Until next time, God bless. Merry Christmas. God bless. Bye.